Hey guys, so today we'll be starting off this 30-day lead coding challenge because of the lockdown and everything. Leetcode has started this lead coding challenge for the entire month of April. So what this 30-day coding challenge means is every week they'll be uploading a set of questions and you have to solve them in under 24 hours, provide a correct solution in under 24 hours. So that's that. I've, I've already started off with this. It has been today is it's 3rd of April, and I've solved three questions. I didn't consider making YouTube videos for this earlier, so I'll be starting off now. So let's start off with the first question. Given a non-empty array of integers, every element appears twice except for once. So we are given a non-empty array of integers, an array containing integers, and we are told that every element in the array appears twice. So almost every element appears in the array twice except for one element. So we are told to find an algorithm that will help us extract that single element. We are also given some additional condition. Your algorithm should have a linear runtime complexity. So our algorithm has to run in big O of n time. So n will be the size of the array. The other condition which seems optional is could you implement it without using any extra memory? So we are told that not to use the extra memory. So the first solution that comes to my mind is using a hash set. So that does involve using the extra memory. So for the time being, I'll break this down into two parts. The first solution will I'll implement by using some extra memory, and then we'll try to figure out how to do it without using any extra memory. So what I'll be doing is for every element, I'll be just checking if they will be storing the count of each of the element. So earlier I said hash set. What I'll be using is actually a hash map. For every integer, I'll be storing the count of that particular integer, the number of times that particular integer has appeared, and what we'll be doing is later on iterate through the hash map. For each of the key, we'll check which key has a count of exactly one. That will be our answer. So let's implement this. I'll create a hash map of integers. Integer will be the element, will be the key, and the count will be the value. So I'll say num count map, uh, and what I'll be doing is I'll be creating a new hash map. Now what I'll do is for every integer in the array, I'll be iterating through the entire array, and what I'll check is let's use some Java 8 syntax. So num count map dot get or default. This is one of the method that I'm planning to use. So what I'll do is from the nums of I, if whatever value I can get, if the value is not present, what I'll be doing is I'll get 0, and that will be stored as value. What I'll do is increment the value and put it back into the map, count map. So the other approach would have been to check whether the value is already present in the map. Now, before Java 8, that used to be the common design paradigm. To first check if nums of I is present in the map. In that case, I would initialize whatever with whatever value I got. Otherwise, the default initialization for the value would have been with 0, and post that I would have done the increment and storing it back. So the rest of the part would have stayed same, except for this part where I would have used if else. Now our hash map contains the count of each of the uh, element that is present. So in our case, the count for each of the element will be either 1 or 2. So what I'll do is now I'll iterate through each of the values in the hash map. So what I'll do is I'll do a map of entry, and this will be on num count map dot get entry. And what I'll do is for each of the key I would be checking what is the value, since at the end I have to return the key, the number for which I got the value as 1. So what I'll do is I'll check if map dot get value. If the value that is present is 1, then I'm supposed to return the key. And let's see, if I'm unable to find any of the values, then I'll just return -1, since we are given that um, the array is non-empty, so there will be some element, and if this condition is not satisfied, as in if all the elements, if there is no element that appears only one time, then ideally you would return some error condition. This is not really required, but this is more like a fail-safe kind of scenario. So let's run it for the test. So I got a compiler error. Map. It's supposed to be map num count map dot get entry. Oh, this will be entry set. There is no method like get entry. Just yeah. So yeah, the answer matches. So let's submit it and see. Yeah, the answer is accepted. Now if you look here, what you'll see is our answer is not the most optimal. It is actually taking a lot longer than other solutions. So this is probably because we have not implemented it. Uh, we have implemented it using extra memory. We are supposed to not implement it using the extra memory. Now, when you look at our algorithm, what it is doing is it is storing the count of each of the element. Ideally, if we assume the input is going to be proper, which is going to be proper in this case, then whatever value you are going to get, value you are going to store in the map will be either 1 or 2. So this this question is particularly different because it has been given that exactly twice. Now there is only one bitwise operator where if you which can handle two if two values are equal, then it can be handled. That is using XOR. So if you XOR a particular element with itself, it will return you a value of 0. So what we can do is if we XOR the entire array, whatever element is present at the end will be will be a single element, since every element is present twice. So every element XORed with itself will give us a value of 0, and at the end what we'll get is the element that is present at the end. So what we'll do is let's implement that second solution. So in that case, what I'll do is for each of the number that is present. Now let's call this as result. What should we initialize our result to? This becomes a question because you are going to XOR it with every other values. So at the end, uh, the value that is present with which what we initialize this result to, uh, that XORed with itself should give me a result. That number is going to be 0. So we'll initialize our result with 0, and what we'll do is we'll XOR it with every element that is present, and whatever is whatever we get in the result, that should be our final answer. So let's run it quickly and check. Yeah, it does. Let's submit it. It has been accepted, and now you can see that we are among the top 100%. Our solution beat 100% of Java submissions. So that's all from my end. I'll be uploading the second video as well soon. So please like and subscribe if you want to be updated about each of my daily videos that I'll be solving as part of this lead coding challenge.